Hello. In this clip, we're going to be doing a longer practice session of mindfulness and mindful awareness. And it's a good idea to prepare for what we're going to do. You can prepare by making sure that you're sitting comfortably and that you're looking for two sensations. One, the sensation that you're really being nicely supported by gravity, feeling in good contact with the ground. The other sensation is looking for a sense of the spine elongating or growing. So, with those two things in mind, we'll go into the preparation for the practice, which is a variation of a practice called the Mindfulness of Breathing. If you're feeling comfortable, then just let your eyes close. This will help gate out a lot of incoming sensory information that might distract you. And then bring your awareness, first of all, to any sensations that you're aware of in your toes. You could wiggle your toes about a bit, just to check in with them. And then the foot, from the toes to the heel. What are you aware of there? What do your feet feel like? Including the heels. Does your left foot feel the same as your right foot? What are you aware of? Or are you not really aware of anything in particular? Whatever it is that you're experiencing is okay, is fine. Now the ankles. How do your ankles feel? Moving now from your ankles up to your knees, the calf muscles, the left and the right, your shins. What experience do you have of these parts of your body? Then moving up to your knees, and from your knees up to your pelvis, the thighs, the front, back and sides of your thighs. What are you aware of in the pelvis? What are you aware of in terms of the sensations you'll be feeling on the chair, the contact indirectly you're making with the chair? And then moving into the belly area, the abdomen. What sensations are happening there? Just checking in with a sense of curiosity and interest. Kindly curiosity. Whatever it is that you're experiencing is fine. We're not looking to change anything or do anything, just to experience whatever sensations we're aware of. Now moving into the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulders. Are we aware of any undue tightness or tension in the shoulders? Do we perhaps have a sense of the shoulders just gently dropping down? the chest area. Are you aware of movement in the chest area as you breathe in and breathe out? Now moving to the area of the upper arms, biceps and the triceps. The sensations and feelings from the shoulder down to the elbow. The elbows themselves. And now the forearms. Down to the wrist area. Next, into the hands. And we can let our awareness rest on the backs of the hands, if our eyes are closed, in our imagination. What the backs of the hands feel like, what the backs of the hands look like. The fingers, the knuckles, the nails at the end of the fingers and thumbs. Now the palms of the hands, the creases and lines across the palms, the finger joints, the thumb joints, and the tips of the fingers and thumbs that produce fingerprints when we touch things. Do our hands feel warm, cool, light, heavy? Are we scarcely aware of any sensations? Whatever it is that we're experiencing is fine. Now moving to the area of the neck, the front and sides of the neck, the back of the neck, up into the scalp area. Now lastly, all the muscles in the face. In particular, the muscles in our forehead, around our eyes, in our cheeks, and around the jaw. Are these muscles relaxed and loose? And having paved the way for the practice, we can now turn our attention to the breath and the practice of the mindfulness of breathing. In this practice, we don't do anything in particular with the breath, we just become a little bit more aware of the breathing process and the sensations and feelings of the breath entering and then leaving the body. We can count the breaths to help our awareness focus in on what the breath feels like. And we can count the breaths in a particular way. One complete breath is breathing in and then letting the breath out. And at the end of the out breath, we can just drop the number 1 into our awareness. So we breathe in, we let the breath out, and at the end of the out breath, that's 1. At the end of the next out breath, 2. And we keep counting, each breath just marking the end of the out breath with the number, until we reach 10. And when we reach the number 10, at the end of the 10th out breath, we simply begin again with number 1. Breathing in, breathing out. Just in and out. You might notice that as we let the breath out, we can just relax that little bit more. If we're distracted and lose count, we just start again with number 1. Breathing in, breathing out. Nothing else. Nothing else to do except count the breaths. Nowhere to go, nowhere else to be. Just aware of the breath, counting as we breathe in, and then breathe out. Now we can stop the counting and just for a couple of breaths, relax as we breathe in and out, and then we can count the breaths again, but this time in a slightly different way. In this stage, we're going to count 1 and then breathe in and let the breath out. Then just before the next breath, that will be 2. And just before the breath after that, 3. And we can continue counting the breaths again till we get to 10, and then returning again to number 1. Just breathing and counting before the in-breath. If our attention wanders off somewhere, we just gently shepherd it back to the breath, the breathing, and the counting of the breaths just before we breathe in. Breathing in and breathing out. Each time our awareness is pulled away, either by something happening outside of us, or by thoughts, ideas, distractions, images, pictures, whatever it might be, when we notice that's happened, we just come back to the breath and the breathing. Nothing else to do. Nowhere else to be. Just being curious, being interested in how the breath feels. You may be noticing that each breath is unique. Each breath is subtly different from the last one. Now we can just let go of the counting altogether and continue focusing our attention and our awareness on the breath entering the body and the changes that happen as we breathe in, and the changes that happen as we let the breath out. maybe a little more subtle experience of the breath and the breathing as we focus more and more of our attention on the breath coming in and leaving the body. Bringing our attention back if it's wandered off somewhere. We may find we're having to bring our attention back over and over again. This is normal, natural. If you are able to hold your awareness on the breath, you're being mindful. If you notice your attention's wandered off and you bring it back to the breath, the very act of noticing and then bringing your attention and your awareness back means you're being mindful. Win-win. We can all do this practice, and we can all get more skillful at doing the practice if we do it regularly and consistently. We're going to move to the fourth and final stage of this practice now. And in this stage, we look for an even more refined awareness of the breath. We're looking to locate where we're first aware of the breath entering the body. Where do we first notice the air around us becoming a breath? It could be round the nostrils, it might be round the lips or the mouth, it might be further in our body. We might only be aware of the breath coming into the body when we notice changes in our chest or our abdomen. There's no right or wrong. It's just wherever you first notice the breath coming into the body, you're invited to just let your awareness rest on that point. Wherever it is you're first experiencing the incoming breath, just let your awareness rest there. If your attention is pulled away, if you're distracted, simply bring it back to that particular place, that point. You can just take a few more breaths, and then when you feel you want to, when you're ready in your own time, just gently bring the practice to a close and let your eyes open as you fully return to wherever you happen to be. Well, I hope you found that interesting, useful, helpful. Do let me know what you think by sending me an email. Is the easiest way. And look out for any further episodes in this series.